Hello, Junction Elementary. My name is Aubry Andrus, and I'm the author of Pumpkin Story, and I'm going to read Chapter 1 to you. This is the true story of how one little horse learned to run, and Chapter 1 is called A Friend in Need. Late one night, a foal was born. The mother horse was exhausted, but so smitten with her new baby. The foal had a shiny brown coat and a fluffy white tail and mane, just like her mother's. The new mama stood up and licked the little foal with her coarse tongue. The foal's bright eyes blinked as she glanced around the dark barn in awe of her new surroundings. Their owner looked on nervously. He had never cared for horses before, and he didn't really know what to do. Luckily, a horse can give birth without any help, and foals can stand and walk on their own as early as an hour after being born. There wasn't much for the owner to do now but watch, but he couldn't help but think that something didn't look right. Ashley's phone dinged. It was another message. It felt as though her phone never stopped calling for her attention. If it wasn't a Facebook message, then it was an email or a call or a text message. And they all said the same thing. Help! Ashley couldn't help everyone, though. She already had so many to take care of. There were Colton, Lucy, Tucker, and Bo, Alistair and Willow, Austin, Ayana, Phoenix, Thor, and those were just the horses. Elijah and Elliot were the pigs. There were the goats, Chip, Scarlet, and Gingerbread, and of course Brittany Lynn, their best cow friend, and William, the lamb. The sweet donkey family of Blossom, Charlotte, and Sherry. There were so many more. And last but not least, there was her own son, Deacon, who was only 3 years old. Ashley was running out of room at Twist of Fate Farm and Sanctuary. 5 years ago, she had rescued 2 horses. She didn't realize it at the time, but that was the first step in opening her animal sanctuary. Word of her new sanctuary spread fast among her animal-loving friends. Since then, she had saved more than 50 horses and another 50 farm animals from bad homes and dangerous situations. Ashley's property was a safe place for animals to live. It was like a retirement home, but with furry residents. Once an animal stepped foot onto her sanctuary, it didn't have to live in fear or pain anymore. Finding a bigger location with rolling acres for the animals to run and roam, plus new facilities to help care for them, was her dream. A dream that would cost a lot of money. And she already had to ask others for money every time she brought a new rescue to the sanctuary. The bills seemed to be climbing higher and higher with each day that went by. Ashley's phone dinged again. This sanctuary business was even harder than she ever imagined it would be. She tucked her long brown hair behind her ear. As long as there was another animal out there in need, she would answer. She picked up her phone. The little foal stood up and walked toward her mom. She was hungry and needed to nurse, but her mom was standing, so she needed to stand, too, if she wanted to eat. She wobbled with each step. Her short legs hurt. She was just a baby and didn't know if this was what walking was supposed to feel like. She looked up at her mom, who gave her a loving lick. Maybe she'd get better at walking soon. Her mom seemed to walk with no problems. Perhaps she just needed more practice. Someday she'd be able to run like the other horses she'd seen. She began to nurse. The little foal took a few more sips of milk, then stopped eating. That was good enough for now. Her feet were hurting, and she wanted to rest. "We need everyone's help right now," Ashley wrote in a new post online. She stared at the images that had been sent to her. A tiny pony, a dwarf pony, was laying on her side in a bed of hay. According to the owner, she was a miniature horse who had been born with dwarfism. Her legs were very short, as all dwarf ponies' legs are, but they didn't look straight. They were bending sideways, just above her hooves, and that wasn't the worst of it. Because of the bend in her legs, this sweet foal wasn't able to walk correctly. With each step, she was stomping on the sides of her legs instead of the bottom of her hooves. It was causing her a lot of pain. Luckily, the family who took care of her and her mom knew she needed more help than they could give. That's why they had messaged Ashley. Ashley winced. In the photo, the foal looked so helpless, just stuck laying on the bed of hay. Foals should be running around, gaining strength and exploring, not trapped inside. But Ashley did notice something else. The little foal's dark eyes were wide open and full of life. Ashley knew that this animal had a fighting spirit and needed someone to give her a chance to survive. She continued to write with the same passion and urgency she felt every time an animal needed to be rescued. We are taking in this 3-week-old foal and her mama. The baby was born with deformed legs, and she needs to get to the vet ASAP so they can take x-rays of her legs and determine the best way to go about helping her. She added information on how to donate money, then clicked share. Oh my gosh, she's so cute, someone posted. Thank you for all you do, another chimed in. Donated, hope it helps, yet another added. Whenever Ashley took in an animal, she posted updates on her social media accounts asking her supporters who followed her there for help. The costs of food, vet appointments, and medicine or surgeries could add up quickly. Ashley was willing to give her time and efforts to these furry animals, but she couldn't pay for everything herself. Yet somehow she always managed to make it work. She took a deep breath, then stepped away from her computer and picked up her car keys. She'd worry about the money part later. Right now, all she could focus on was getting the foal and her mother home. The drive from her sanctuary in Pennsylvania to Ohio would be long, but this baby needed to get to the hospital immediately. Before she could second-guess her decision, Ashley was on the road heading west with a horse trailer. And that's chapter 1 of Pumpkin Story, so I hope you enjoy reading the rest to learn what happens to Pumpkin. Bye!